Today we're at Kelenfold station at the end of the Green Line, Metro Line 4, the newest one in Budapest, Hungary. We're going to go on our usual adventure inside and outside to see what we can see throughout the city, so let's go.
Today's journey between two of Budapest's biggest train stations starts on the Buda side of the river and heads northeast under the Danube, finishing in Pest, a total distance of around 6.6 kilometers. We're going to walk between the first two stations above ground, so first, let's take a quick look down inside Kelenfold metro station. A pretty clean, modern, spacious metro station that leads up into the train station. There's quite a lot to walk around and see just in here, but as it's such a nice sunny day, let's roll outside. Kelenfold train station is situated in the southwest of the city and dates back as far as 1861. The adjoining metro station is much newer, opening in March 2014, as were all of the metro stations currently on this line. Rude not to check out the mall whilst here, it's kind of on the way to the second station anyway. I was also starving at the start of this adventure, so couldn't resist being a little truffle piglet and filling my face. Let's hope this gets me through the day, eh?
Food update, that was actually unreal. I could eat another 2 of those. So I think by the looks of the map, if we walk through this shopping centre, I've topped up on caffeine, other brands are available. I think if we walk through the shopping centre and out the other side, there should be a park that leads to the next station. The question is whether you actually can get out of this side of the shopping centre. I'm hoping you can, otherwise I have to go all the way back round.
Bosh, you can get out the other side, which immediately feels way quieter.
So I believe we're walking through a park that's called Nelson Mandela Park, and then this should lead us to Bikash Park, which is the same name as the next metro station. So we should be able to join the train there. In other news, the weather is really hot. The last couple of days have been 24, 25 degrees Celsius. You could have passed this off as July. It seems like a summer's day. The only problem is a lot of the shopping centres and stores and stuff have still got their autumn settings on the heating. So you go inside and it's boiling, which is a nightmare for people like me who are very sweaty. But other than that, fantastic weather for walking around. There's definitely a huge difference in vibe between the two sides of the city. On the Pest side, it is just always really busy, really loud. Even the cars are loud, the people are loud, which is good. It's like thriving and bustling. But the Buda side is just so chill. It's like completely different vibe over here. Really, really chill. Even the cars are driving quite quietly past. Everyone's strolling around in the park quietly. Nobody's shouting. It's just a completely different feel between the two.
And there's a Burger King, so honestly, what's not to love? After a short walk, we're at the second station, Bikash Park. Some rather cool station entrances, we'll check those out in a second, but first, a walk around this beautiful park. Some Teletubby-style hills, quirky statues and monuments, and plenty of sports going on. Pretty funky.
Right, we better get back into the metro before I just decide to stay and sunbathe in the park for a couple of hours. So let's go there now.
Check this design out, absolutely stunning, and an ideal day to show it off with the sunlight glistening through. The glass dome was apparently designed after research studies to optimise light, heat ventilation and indoor comfort, and is one of the first skylights on the Budapest metro system.
This entrance to the lift seemed more exciting than going back to the escalators, so we're going to take the elevator down, hopefully to the platform. So I passed all of the stations on the line coming from where I'm staying, which is on the Pest side, to get to Kelenfold. It does look as though a lot of them have this kind of concrete jungle, industrial type feel. Some of them are a bit more colourful, we'll see those on the lines on the way down, but generally they're huge ceilings, lots of concrete beams, and as I say, very industrial concrete jungle, I would describe it as.
Right, time for a ride on the train to the third station, Buda Központ. Similar sort of design and feel, plenty of big bold shapes, so let's take a look above ground. I was then drawn immediately down into this indoor market, plenty of fresh fruit and veg, and a huge range of flowers on offer here, super colourful.
So by the looks of it, if I just continue to follow this street, we should get to the next station.
We're now heading down into my favourite station on the line. You'll have seen it in the video thumbnail, the zingy, but very hard to pronounce, Muric Zsigmond Körtér. This just looks and feels absolutely spectacular as you descend down through the huge beams towards the platform. Stunning. Feel as though I've fallen into a weird dream where I'm riding a metro that's inside a Rubik's Cube. We're back on the train for a one-stop hop to the spirally tiled next station, St. Gelater. Seems kinda like a snazzy multicoloured tornado. Wouldn't fancy getting off at this station drunk, that could be very messy and very disorientating. Back outside into the fresh air, and we've reached the banks of the Danube on the Buda side. Before crossing the river, there's a little uphill detour to take, in search of some spectacular views.
So this is the last full day of the Poland and Hungary trip, other than a travel day tomorrow back home. And trust me when I say, having been ill most of it with a cold, quite a bad cold though, like a really one. The last thing I was going to do, or was planning to do today, was go up hills, but it looks as though there's plenty of viewing points up here close to the river, the Citadella, a couple of other points where you can look down across over to Pest. So I think it might be worth climbing up this hill. Let's hope so, and let's see what we can find.
Yeah, so if you've been following the channel closely, you'll be like, how have you taken so long to edit these videos from one trip? Well, let's just say that life happens and YouTube's just a side hobby for me for now. But if you are enjoying the videos, liking and subscribing and commenting will allow me to put up more content a lot quicker, a lot more frequently. So in the words of Beyonce, if you like it, put a subscribe on it.
It looks as though there are a lot of different winding pathways to the top. It's not obvious which ones are the fastest, whether it's the ones with the most incline or not, because they then wind onto other paths. But the views are already spectacular, even from this point. I think there's a fair bit still to go. It looks like the Citadel is up here. The positives are there are a lot of areas with benches on the way up so you can sit down. The negatives are there are tons of bugs, mosquitoes and other little midgies to avoid. And I'm somebody that sweats a lot and the bugs love me. I also have that nice dual thing of the bugs love me and my body reacts really badly to them and everything gets really inflamed. It should be used to it by now, but yeah, let's try and avoid that.
Anyway, it was worth battling through to get these fabulous views from the top. What a perfectly clear day for something like this. Looks like some kind of repair work going on up here. But still, absolutely worth a trip up here if you're visiting Budapest. Why not lock it in with your significant other whilst you're at it?
Right, now that I'm a sweaty mess, it's time to head down very carefully, hopefully without slipping, and we're going to head back to the metro station and over to the Pest side. Well, maybe time to find some more hydration. I think I've sweated out half my body weight on that hill. It was well worth it though, and a great day, as I say, great weather. It's almost like it's July or August or something. It's actually October. But yeah, absolutely superb, clear skies, great views over Buda and Pest and the river. So yeah, probably time for a bit of hydration, and then we're going to head under the river to the next stop on the Green Line.
So it's back down into the metro for a journey under the Danube on this wonderful modern line. More stunning escalator rides up through the crisscrossing concrete beams. There's also a tram stop built into this metro station. How cool is that? The Fuvamter station has been described as more than just a metro station. It's a complex traffic junction, an interchange spot for tramways, buses, metro, ships, cars and pedestrians, which together create a unique open public space both above and under the ground. Directly over on the Pest side of the river, we reach the beautiful neo-Gothic Central Market Hall, which has grocery produce on the ground floor and souvenirs and clothes up on the first floor. Let's check it out. The Central Market Hall, or sometimes known as Great Market Hall, is the largest and oldest indoor market in Budapest. It was the brainchild of the city's first ever mayor and was officially opened in February 1897 and aimed to improve food supply to the capital. This huge building, covering 10,000 square metres, was significantly damaged during World War II and remained in a deteriorating condition until as late as 1991, when a thorough renovation was undertaken to restore its original splendour.
Wow, there's so much stuff in here. I thought there might be some decent views, maybe a little bit here, but the whole of this upstairs bit is crammed with stuff.
I just found a little gap between the mountains of stuff to stick the camera through and get some shots of this beautifully designed building.
I'm just glad it's not busy up here, because this would be absolutely a nightmare. Right, let's head on to the next station and hope there are some more hidden gems to find towards the end of the line. Try not to fall down the stairs. So we're already at the next station, Kelenfold, which we came to yesterday on the Blue Line video and had a look around, and I chose this area as the area where I'd like to have an apartment if I was going to be donated one by a multi-billionaire. Might go down and take a look at the Green Line station just for the sake of completeness, and then probably work out how to walk to the next one. I think they're all fairly close together from now to Keleti, which is the last one, so it may be more interesting to go outside rather than in. This is also meant to be one of the main three places where the airport bus, the 100E, goes from here, Astoria, Kelenfold.
You can see the airport bus stand here, just next to the main squarey type area in the previous shots. Here's a look at Kelenfold station, more industrial concrete jungle style design. You can also see more of this station also in the older Blue Line video on the channel.
So as usual with these autumn trips, we're running out of light, so I'm going to take the metro one more stop. I think there's 3 left on the line, but yeah, this particular stop, Kelenfold, is a good one for the airport, just across from the Mercure Hotel, if you want to get the airport bus from here.
Also a perk of these newer trains is the back window areas to look out onto the track and tunnels. Very, very cool. Off at the next station, Rakotsiter, it's pretty cool how they've made the platform area quite tight and cosier with the lower ceilings, but actually it's another huge station with impressive architectural features on the way up and out. The green and red walls and the white platform in the middle is presumably a nod to the Hungarian flag, although at first I was kinda just looking at the two walls going, this is giving Belarus.
This area's got a nice little sit out in the street, cafe culture, bar, little vibe, which I like. We're going to try and walk through from here through to the second last station and maybe even the last one as well, because I don't think they're too far. I think if we wind through a few of these streets, we'll get to both of them.
So let's wind our way firstly through this indoor market, mostly closing down for the day, and then into some very cool streets with lashings of building artwork and graffiti. Looks great set against the beautiful sunset. After a short walk, we're at the second to last station on the line, which I'm not even going to attempt to try and pronounce in Hungarian because I've just listened to it on Google Translate and there's no chance I'm getting that right. But it basically translates as Pope John Paul II Square.
Okay, I've decided it'd be rude not to take one more ride on the metro to the last station, so let's do this.
Kérjük kedves utasainkat, hogy szíveskedjenek elhagyni a vonatot, és erre figyelmeztessék utastársaikat is. Viszontlátásra!
Keleti pályaudvar. This train terminates here. Please leave the train upon arrival. Goodbye.
And that very quick ride gets us to the final station on the line, the iconic Keleti pályaudvar, in time for a final look out at the beautifully lit Budapest.
Well, that's it for the Green Line Metro adventure. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference if we can get more viewers onto this page. If you're a legend who's already subscribed, remember to like and comment. All of those things really help the algorithm, help the videos to get seen by more people, which allows me to keep the videos coming more frequently. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.